The entire arena froze in disbelief when Jin's voice echoed through the microphone with a single, piercing question that no one expected. His words were not just a casual remark. They carried the weight of frustration, longing, and perhaps an unspoken truth. The silence from HYBE that followed only intensified the tension, leaving fans questioning whether they had just witnessed one of the most powerful moments in BTS history. What exactly did Jin ask, and why did Jungkook break down moments later? Witnesses described the atmosphere as charged, almost suffocating, as if everyone knew something was building up but no one dared to speak. Jin stood at the center of the stage, his expression serious, his tone unwavering. Instead of delivering the cheerful fan service everyone anticipated, he dropped a question that reverberated across the venue. Are we being heard, or are we just being watched? The crowd fell silent, shocked by the directness of the question. It was not just a message for fans, but a challenge to the very system around him. This moment was not random. In recent months, speculation has been growing about the intense pressure BTS members face behind the scenes. Analysts suggest that Jin's sudden outburst might be connected to mounting concerns about transparency and creative freedom. The timing of the statement, right in the middle of a major performance, was deliberate. Jin is known for his calculated words. He rarely speaks impulsively in front of thousands, let alone in an environment where every camera is rolling. Jungkook's reaction was immediate and heartbreaking. Cameras caught him wiping his face as tears streamed down, his shoulders visibly shaking. Fans who attended reported that he seemed unable to look at Jin for several moments, almost as if the question itself had opened an emotional wound. Was it guilt? Was it fear? Or was it the sheer relief of hearing someone finally say what had been left unspoken? The internet exploded within minutes, with millions of posts dissecting every frame, every word, every second of that confrontation. What makes this situation more intense is HYBE's complete silence. No statement, no attempt to redirect the narrative, no denial or clarification, just silence. For a company that usually manages every storyline with precision, this lack of response has fueled even more speculation. Did Jin just force them into a corner? Did Jungkook's reaction confirm that the issue is bigger than anyone imagined? Social media is ablaze with theories. Some argue that Jin's question was directed at management, a subtle but powerful demand for accountability. Others believe it was a message to fans, a way to reassure them that BTS is aware of their concerns about the future of the group. Either way, the emotional intensity of the moment cannot be overstated. ARMY members have been sharing emotional threads, saying they felt both proud and scared. Proud because Jin had the courage to speak up, scared because of what such an open confrontation could mean for BTS's internal dynamics. Experts in the industry are also weighing in. Some music journalists are calling this the most significant live moment since BTS's hiatus announcement years ago. The fact that Jungkook, who is usually calm and collected, could not hold back his tears only amplifies the message. It was as if Jin spoke for both of them, possibly for all the members, asking the question they all wanted to ask but never dared to. The broader implications are profound. If this was a veiled critique of the current system, it could signal a shift in how BTS will engage with their company moving forward. Could this be the start of a new chapter where the members demand greater say in their creative and professional direction? Or was this simply an emotional overflow, a rare moment of vulnerability on stage that will soon be brushed aside? Fans are divided, but one thing is certain. The tension between what happened on stage and HYBE's silence off stage is creating an information vacuum. In that vacuum, every theory feels possible. Some ARMY believe this could be connected to upcoming announcements or internal decisions that the members have not been fully briefed about. Others think Jin was addressing a much more personal matter, something only he and Jungkook truly understand. The emotional aftermath has been just as striking as the moment itself. Fan videos show Jungkook kneeling down after the performance, taking deep breaths, and avoiding cameras as he left the stage. Jin, on the other hand, maintained his composure but looked visibly heavy-hearted, as though he had carried this question for too long and finally decided he could not stay silent any longer. Observers are pointing out that this was not a reckless outburst. Jin's timing, his phrasing, and his calm yet commanding presence suggest this was planned. Whether it was a personal decision or something discussed with other members remains unknown, but the calculated nature of the act is undeniable. It was both a question and a statement, a challenge and a confession all at once. The silence from HYBE is perhaps the loudest part of the story. Had they issued a clarification, speculation might have been contained. But their refusal to engage is giving fans permission to interpret freely, which is only adding to the emotional storm. Some are even wondering if this silence is a form of acknowledgement that the question was too powerful to dismiss, too risky to answer. The industry is watching closely. For years, BTS has been known as the group that never loses composure, that always shows unity and positivity even under pressure. But this moment shattered that image and revealed a rare glimpse into the complex realities they face. Jin's question will likely be remembered as a turning point, a moment when the narrative shifted from perfection to humanity, from performance to truth. For fans, the challenge now is to process what they witnessed. Was this a cry for help, a demand for change, or a carefully orchestrated message meant to prepare ARMY for something bigger? The emotional weight of the moment cannot be dismissed, and neither can Jungkook's tears. The coming days will be critical. The silence cannot last forever, and when the first response finally comes, whether from Jin, Jungkook, or anyone close to them, it will shape the future of this conversation. Until then, fans are left with one haunting question. If Jin is asking whether they're being heard, the moment Jin asked that question may have electrified the stadium, but should we accept it as an absolute truth? Was this event as raw and unfiltered as it appeared, or was it carefully staged for maximum impact? These are questions that demand critical thinking from every observer. When a moment goes viral within minutes, amplified by TikTok clips, YouTube breakdowns, and Twitter threads, one must ask, are we consuming a real event, or are we witnessing a narrative that someone wants us to believe? This is where the discussion becomes uncomfortable. If Jin's words were genuine, then they represent one of the boldest acts of defiance we have ever seen on stage. But if this was part of a larger plan, perhaps a calculated move to generate headlines and renew public interest, then the emotional reactions we are all experiencing might have been deliberately provoked. Are we ready to confront that possibility? Every detail of that night has been magnified and dissected by fans. Slow-motion replays of Jungkook's tears, audio enhancements to catch every syllable of Jin's question, even speculative lip reading from other members. Everything is being scrutinized. Yet scrutiny does not automatically mean truth.